That is a huge rainbow, boys. He is peeling. I'm on. It's a good one too. Right away. There we go. There's a fish. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Mile High Fishing. In today's episode, we're going to do things just a little bit different. I'm going to be exploring a section of the creek I haven't fished yet, but I've looked at on the map several times. And I thought this would be a good time to go over some of the locations, areas, and structure that I look for when approaching a new section of the creek or river in hunt of the Colorado elusive trout. Hopefully by the end of this video, you've been able to take away a small piece of knowledge or even learn a little something that might help you get on your own fish next time you find yourself at a river or a creek. Let's get into it. You know, I'm pretty sure I just saw wild turkeys. Look at these guys. Hey, buddy. All right, we hiked like two and a half miles away from where we parked to come downstream so that we can fish upstream, which brings me to my first point. Yeah, you pretty much always want to be fishing upstream. There was a time where I was using spinners like rooster tails, panther martins, and going downstream I was having like decent luck, because throwing them downstream helps like get them spinning and gives them a ton of action. But the basic rule of thumb is you want to fish upstream. If you're fishing upstream, you're coming up from behind the fish, so you have a less chance of spooking them. You get a few more, casts on them than if you're coming downstream. Sometimes when coming downstream, you won't even get a cast on them. They'll see you, they'll run away, and you won't see them again. Also, if you take the time to walk downstream out of the water, you do get a chance to kind of scope out some spots. So like, I pretty much know right in here, it's pretty shallow, just past these logs here where that little riffle is. There is a good little hole with a good seam because of that riffle. So chances are there's a fish or two right there. If we can get up on them, cast from the right angle, I'll show them to you on camera. This is a difficult cast though, with this overhang and these two branches or roots, and branch on one side, root on the other. If I can get over here and kind of cast up underneath it, I'm pretty confident there's a fish in that current right there. I mean, they probably even hide right in here, just waiting for stuff to come down with the current and shoot out. So if there's something there that I haven't seen yet, which I have a pretty good eye on it, they might even just shoot out from there. There's also a lot of leaf litter in here today. It is fall, so yeah, the leaf litter, if you get that caught on your lure, it's not going to have the right action. There we go, there's a fish. Looks like a rainbow. Oh no, it's a brown. All right, we got our first little fishy boy. Oh, he squirted me right in the face. It's pretty good size too. Go ahead and wet our hands. These fish without scales depend on their bacteria, their little slime. And if you touch them with dry hands, you're peeling off a ton of that slime. And that's no good for them. That slime helps them fight off bacteria, protects them. There we go. What was that, like fourth cast? It's a good sign. Pretty good size. Anything that size or bigger on a creek, I get excited. Part of what I'm doing today by showing these spots is, again, I'm just kind of pointing out the things I look for. I'm no expert by any means, so feel free to comment in the comment section below if there is anything that has helped you today, or better yet, if there's anything I'm not mentioning or pointing out that you found really helps you, because I'm still learning. I just love fishing. It makes me feel like a kid. In between like a kid and like a scientist. I love it. And again, where I cast before, I threw it right here into this, like in between these two seams or in between these two flows. And as I brought it down, kind of like I talked about before, he came out of this deep root system that I was standing behind, and he smashed it. A lot of these fish, they just like to sit facing upstream, kind of hover in place, and they see an opportunity and they take it, especially these browns. I mean, they are predator fish. There is a little bit of an undercut. It's not terribly deep, but where the water's flowing, I can't see like how far it goes up underneath the undercut, and it's very likely that there's fish hiding up underneath there. So if I throw this here in the current, bring it down, they're going to be able to see it if they're hiding up underneath there, and they will shoot out and just destroy it. I'm going to take a few blind casts kind of right out in the middle before I target the spots where I think, oh, there's a fish right there. Fish on. Oh, fish off. Now that one that just hooked up and got away, I'm pretty sure he's not coming back out to play. He got a little pierced lip and he was like, I didn't sign up for this, I'm out. I'm actually using HD dynamic trout lure, rainbow. I think this is the Ghost Rainbow, double treble. I do mainly catch and release, especially like river fishing, creek fishing. I almost always do catch and release unless I'm up in the mountains fishing the alpine lakes. But yeah, I do crimp my barbs. Real easy. I could show that at a later time or in another video, but yep, just use some pliers and give them a little crimp, and that way it's easy to get the hook out of the mouth, less damage to the fish. And another little tip with that is save yourself. I've hooked into clothes, I've hooked into my skin. If you have little barbs, and I mean little microscopic barbs on your hooks, and those go in your skin, you are doing damage getting it out. And depending on how deep it is, you might even need like professional attention. And I do have a ultralight rod, super flimsy boy. And I am using 4-pound mono fluoro coated, I believe. Berkeley tri-line smooth cast. Between the floppy boy rod and the line I'm using, I mean, I can feel every little thing. Like I can literally feel when it's bumping a rock or catching a leaf, hooking up with a fish, even better yet. Slowly, as we get around this leaf buildup, we're gonna try to throw a couple over there. If there's any depth underneath those leaves, even just throwing it on the outside of them, kind of like that, but on the opposite side, they'll see it. They'll shoot out from underneath there and they will crush. It's like my favorite thing too. I mean, just walking the creek, kind of trying all these little hidey holes. Sometimes you'll catch a big one in such a surprising place that, man, it just puts the biggest smile on your face. When you see a buildup of rocks like that, chances are there's a few cubbies or possibly even undercuts, places for them to kind of get up underneath and hide or rest right behind without having to use too much energy. Sometimes just casting along the bank you're on or opposite bank, right along the rocks like that, sometimes you'll get one of them to come out from those rocks. There we go, fish on. Oh, fish off. Just like I was saying though, right there along the rocks, I can kind of see across the way and it's pretty shallow. Let's see if him or his friend want to play again. But yeah, they can see that. I mean, they're watching the middle of the creek. So if they're hiding or resting behind those rocks, they'll see this lure from, I don't know, 5-10 feet away, and they'll rush out and eat it. I'm snagged. Try the bow and arrow technique. Sometimes, there we go. I love the bow and arrow technique. Yeah, sometimes just pulling your line nice and tight when you get a snag like that. Drawing back on some of the extra string back here, nice and tight, and then letting it loose, it'll pop it, kind of like, you know, you're firing a bow, and it'll send a ripple through the line. So if you're not super snagged on like fabric or something like that, so a lot of times it just pops it right off, which is super handy because the alternative is just walking straight up there and, you know, blowing up your spot, ruining the chance that, you know, add a couple more casts. So I really do love that technique. And it just looks cool. We do have some promising real estate right up here. Even though it's nice and calm, there's some depth here, and I know with it being overgrown on both left and right, there's some hidey holes. Some might be kind of hard to put your lure in front of at the risk, you know, of hitting some of these branches, but you can see that I'm standing up here on top of this fall now. That's a couple feet of water. So before, again, I go stomping through, I'm just gonna kind of take one down the middle, take a couple on the left, take a couple on the right. I'm on. It's a good one too, right away. Right away. It's a good one. I think it's a rainbow. He's a fighter. It is a rainbow. It's a really pretty one too. Got nice colors this time of year. Almost. He's not quite tired out yet. Let's bring him in. He does not want to come into the net, that's for sure. Gotcha, buddy. Dang, that's a pretty fish. Wow, he is super colorful, super pink. It's like pearlescent in the sun. Oh, that is so beautiful. Kind of hooked weird. I think there was one in his mouth, but by the time I brought him in, there was just one on the outside of like his face. Not the best hook right there, but came out easy. Got our hands nice and wet. Look at the colors on that. What a slab. Beautiful rainbow. Super colorful. Thanks for playing, buddy. First cast. Oh, he got me real wet. All right, we are gonna start marching up a little, but I'm gonna try to be cautious because there's still potentially fish tucked up in this overgrowth. You can see, actually, I can see a lot of logs and rocks with depth underneath them. This is a really nice spot. I don't know if this is natural or if this is the work of beavers. We'll kind of be able to tell once we get up there and look at some of the logs. Some of these actually do show signs of beavers. That really barkless branch, quite a bit of them actually. They're bitten off on the ends. You can see like the beaver kind of marks. Yeah, that's so funny. Some of these branches are straight up, they were placed here by a beaver. Well, thanks, beaver, because you made some deep water up here on this side of it. And I'm sure some of the fish love it. Yeah, plenty of real estate along this left side. I would assume the same holds true for the right, but there's overhang where the water goes up underneath, where it looks like the grass and dirt hit the water, but it actually has like a little overhang underwater. And yeah, they're they're in those spots. They love that. There we go, right in front of me. I don't know if you caught that on camera. That is a huge rainbow, boys. He is peeling. Dude, right at the tip, right at my freaking feet. I kind of panicked like the last one and kind of slowed down on my retrieve. And he came up, I saw his mouth open, he took it and started swimming away. Oh my gosh, what a beauty. Get out of there, that's not a good spot, buddy. Come back out in the open. Massive rainbow, massive creek bow. Woo! I might have to tire him out a little bit. That's a big fish. That is a big fish, boys. Let's go. Dude, he barely fits in my net. Look at that. Look at that. Woo! Oh my God, let's go. All right, I gotta walk over these sketchy rocks again. Hopefully I don't fall in. We're gonna take a minute with him and get a bit of a measurement on him. Let me get him unhooked real quick here first. Oh my God. Dude, he is massive. Woo! Hey, buddy. Who's a good boy? There we go. He's free. All right, we're gonna give him a second to breathe. There we go, take a little breath. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, this might be a master rainbow. Dude, hold up. I think this is 24 inches. No, he's 22 and a half. 22 and a half. Look at this buddy. Oh my God. 22 and a half inches from the creek, boys. Oh man, dude, that was nuts. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. This day was absolutely crazy good fishing, and I go on to catch twice as many fish as we're showing here. But this video has already gone on a little too long. Stay tuned for part 2 of this adventure, where I go over some more tips and tricks, as well as catch even bigger fish. Well, that basically wraps up today's episode. Thanks for sticking around, and hopefully you learned a couple things about where to find the trout, how to catch the trout, and maybe even how to handle the trout. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and until next time, we'll see ya!